The book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, and verse 13. For I have sworn by myself, said the Lord Yahweh, by Shema Shai, that Basra, America, shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. I have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together, and come against her, and rise up to the battle. For, lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men. Thy terribleness has deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart, of thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, thou holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as the eagle, as high as the eagle. I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai. Also Edom shall be a desolation, everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. All praises to Yahweh by Shema Shai, Waharak HaKadosh, of honors of the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect and the seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel. They're scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some look like the heathen, beginning with 144,000. Preachers, teachers, and prophets, Shalom. Got this video and a couple articles. This video right here is about, let's get Anonymous Official. That's the YouTube handle. Title of the video is What's Coming is Worse Than a World War III. Iran is Ready. Says you are being lied to. Now that's Scott Ritter right there. He and Colonel McGregor, hey, they be on point, man, with the information, man. And he's going to speak on how America planned to go to Iran and do the same thing they did in Venezuela in just a couple of days. But he's going to say, well, America only planned to do this within a couple of days. Even Trump said, I'm listening to the ceremony right now, I'm only 22 minutes in. He was like, well, it's only going to take a few days. He said, it may take a little longer, but regardless, they're going to get the job done. Well, you already said you're going to be up to 4 to maybe 6 weeks or even longer. Now, Scott Ritter's going to tell you that, hey, America wasn't prepared to be there for no more than 2 days. So what's going on is America is using up their arsenal, all right? They're using all their arsenal. And Iran been planning for months. And America, Trump went up over there with no plan, thinking he could be over there for a couple of days. And that makes sense because more and more troops are going to have to be deployed. Hey, more and more troops are dying, man. Hey, right here, real quick. See, you thought you was going over there, the tour around with Iran like you did Venezuela. But hey, what you don't know is you just stepped in some shit and you can't get it off your shoe. All right? That's what happened. Now you're at the end of your empire. All right? Real quick. It was just up. It says a powerful Iranian weapon. Business Insider, 8 hours ago. A powerful Iranian weapon broke through defenses and killed 4 U.S. troops. Iran got that heat, man. All right? Iran ain't stupid. Hey, they was sent back. The first round they shot against Israel, it was they was seeing how the Iron Dome would react, and they was picking up on the coordinates. So what Iran did was they shot at different coordinates because they figured out the pattern in which the Iron Dome, their missile defense system worked. And it was getting, in the second round, they were unleashing. All right? And it was getting through. All right? Now, they said Iran shot up to like 1,000 missiles. They said they got missiles for days, man. When I said days, you know, we said days, but meaning a long time. And America over there, man, they ain't shit. He gonna tell Scott Ritter gonna tell you, hey, they didn't go over there prepared, man. All right, they didn't go over there prepared. So it's gonna be more deaths. It's gonna be more deaths over there of U.S. troops. It says, this Arab News, March the 2nd, 2026, it says U.S. to deploy more troops to the Middle East as Iran operations continue. Now, they're saying, it might have been this article too. Even Pete Hegseth said, he said they could be there for more than, they could be there for up to 6 weeks. Let me see if it's in this. Let me see. I could type it in. But it says U.S. to deploy more troops to the Middle East as Iran operations continue. And the more and more they send troops over there, they die. You don't think a draft coming? All right, you don't think a draft coming? You don't think a draft coming? Let's get the this just to bring back up what I think we brought out this morning through the Spirit of Prayer. How about Shema Shai? I don't know what this shit be doing, man. This jump right here. Do whatever I want to do. Trump said it. He's saying it in his press conference right here, where his this Medal of Honor ceremony. Pete Hegseth said it too. They could be up to be there for up to 4 to 5 weeks, if not longer. Let's type it in. Trump says U.S. could be Iran 4 to 6 weeks. Right here. It says 5 hours ago, Trump, war with Iran could last 4 to 6 weeks. Right? Now, remember all of this. All right? Remember all of this. Right? March the 2nd, 2026. It says Pentagon panics that Iran war will use up all air defense supplies. You see that? Defense Department officials are worried about the operation lasting more than a few days. Attacking Iran has severely diminished America's air defense supplies, a predictable outcome that has Pentagon officials panicking mere days into the conflict. Donald Trump declared war on Iran without congressional approval early Saturday. He has so far failed to provide a timeline or clear reason for U.S. involvement, stressing military leadership in the process. The mood here is intense and paranoid. One person familiar with the situation told the Washington Post Monday. And this reports out on the Young Turks. And Scott Ritter said in this video that Iran has sat down and they was willing to agree to not have any uranium. And they went and bought $600 pins, $600 pins, so they could have a signing ceremony. Said, but hey, Trump decided to just go to war anyway. So you see, Trump wants this war. And why? Because of these small hats, man. The least of the flock shall draw them out. All right? They want that greater Israel. No, the only time Israel going to be great is when we go back home. And that's going to be soon. All right? That's going to be soon. It says the mood here is intense and paranoid. The mood here is intense and paranoid. One person familiar with the situation told the Washington Post Monday. In the weeks leading up to the explosive hostilities, Trump's top military advisor, Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane, warned the White House against such an attack, arguing that it could entangle America in a prolonged conflict. You see? But like I said, the mood here is intense and paranoid. When you're paranoid, you're afraid. Now, this is scripture in Jeremiah. I want to hold this because I want to get that word for terribleness. I want to get the king about the report. Let me pause. Let me pause. I don't want to waste time. Here it is. The Wadi Habah Shema. Shout out to Jeremiah 50:43. It says the king of Babylon has heard the report of them, and his hands wax feeble, anguish to a hold of him, and pains as of a woman in travail. Right? This war, man. Hey, and them nations, all the nations are eventually going to come up against America when you go back to verse 41. But just going into the scripture came to me in the spirit right then. Because it says in the room it was paranoia, man. All right? They not ready, man. America, hey, their terribleness has deceived them. Let's go back to that Jeremiah 49 real quick. And 16. Thy terribleness has deceived thee and the pride of thy heart. Now you go into this word terribleness, it's going into that military might. You see? It says shuddering, horror. Look, their filthiness, you see? So that big bad military and weaponry and the power that y'all are accustomed to bullying the world with is no longer so. So you see, you relying on how y'all used to be. You forgot that your military is weak now. Everybody else strong. See, Iran been preparing for months. Scott Ritter gonna tell you. These nations want the smoke, man. They want all the heat. All right? They want all the heat. So you've been deceived, man. You've been deceived. See, this is what happens when you're so full of pride, so arrogant, same thing. And you've been so-called winning and lying, and everybody is kissing your tail, and you just been dominating for so long, man. You going around taking over, bombing countries, using your weapons and forcing regime changes. Hey, now you done stepped into some shit and you can't get it off your shoe, man. And you can't buy another pair of shoes. This is it. This is the last pair of shoes y'all gonna wear. You see? You get Jeremiah 50:41. It says, behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, that people coming from the north, just rush, and many kings shall rise up from the coast of the earth. It says, they shall hold the bow and the lance, that's the nuclear weapons. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, that's the missiles, nuclear missiles, and they shall ride upon horses, the nuclear missiles. Every one put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. Hey, that's Joel the 3rd chapter, Revelation the 9th chapter, 2nd Ezra the 16th chapter, Deuteronomy 32. All throughout the scriptures. All right? That's the nuclear missile that's going to hit Babylon, man, and destroy this place. The king of Babylon has heard the report of them, and his hands wax feeble, anguish to a hold of him, and pains as of a woman in travail. So how much more so then when these missiles get shot, man? The nuclear missiles get shot from back east. Okay? Now, it's another scripture. where is it? They shall carry the message. I think it's in this chapter. They shall carry the message. It's either this chapter or 51. Let me pause. Here it is, the Wadi Habba Shema Shah. This is Jeremiah 51:31. One post shall run to meet another. And let's start at 30. It says, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. Right, military weak. Right, they don't want to fight. All right, they want to back down. They ain't built like that no more. They have remained in their holes. Their might has failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. And that's what it's going to lead to, the destruction of America. It says, one post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. It says, and that the passages are stopped, and the reeds, they are burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. For thus said the Lord Yahweh Shema shall host, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come, and the harvest is the end of the world. All right? So you're going to be threshed, man. All right? Threshed through. All right? Like a threshing floor, that's when you separate the wheat from the chaff. All right? The harvest is the end of the world. And you have a fan or you get you a pitchfork and you scoop it up into the air, and the chaff is so light that the wind will blow it, or the fan will blow the chaff to the side while the wheat just fall back down. Well, your ass will get blown away. All right, you chaff, man. All right, well, you see this going into carrying the report, man. All right. So see, again, Jeremiah 49:16, thy terribleness has deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as the eagle, as high as the eagle, I Yahweh Shema Shah, will bring thee down from thence, said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. You see? So hey, we're gonna play this video, man. All right, but let's finish this off. It says, the mood here is intense and paranoid. One person familiar with the situation told the Washington Post Monday. In the weeks leading up to the explosive hostilities, Trump's top military advisor, Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane, warned the White House against such an attack, arguing that it could entangle America in a prolonged conflict. There is concern about this lasting more than a few days. Another source told the Post, adding that it often takes several air defense interceptors to stop an incoming missile. I don't think people have fully absorbed yet, like what that has done with stockpiles. Representative Adam Smith, the House Armed Services Committee's ranking member, warned that the war will only serve to further strain U.S. munitions supplies. At this point is on. It's not like we can say, hey, Iran, we're out of missile defense systems now, so we're going to pause for a moment. Is that okay? Right. It will stretch our ability to defend anything that we need to defend. Smith told the Post, describing the American resources as stretched thin. So you see, this place finished. Hey, this place is done. All right? It's done, man. It's finished. Now, this is World War III to begin it, but, the regional war, it's going to escalate. Then it's going to turn to full-fledged World War III, but we in World War III. We in it. All right? That's going to continue to escalate, to go nuclear. The cloud going to get in it, which is Russia. 2nd Esdras 15, when it speaks of the cloud, that terrible and fearful cloud, that's talking about Russia. And you go to Ezekiel 38. All right? So, hey, there's so many articles, man, like, Man, it's a lot, man. Man, it's a lot, man. Russia talking to Saudi Arabia, you know, about the situation. So, hey, all of them gonna get involved, man. All right? It's just so much. Now, let's just play this, man.
Your body warns you before kidney failure. Here are the 3 signs most people miss. As a nephrologist, I see these every single day.
Together with people who believe.
Right here, I'll put a link to this full video in the description box if you want to listen to it. America done. Their terribleness and their pride has deceived them, man. And it's going to lead to their destruction. See? Anyway, let's start right here. Play back by 10.
Is really the dumbest path to take. As you said, Ali Khamenei opted to stay at home, do his business from home, together with people who believe the same thing, because they are leaders. They are going to lead by example. And the example for Iran to set right now is their willingness to absorb the damage inflicted by, the evil modern-day Umayyads, Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, because they believe in the end that they will emerge victorious. So we are blowing things up, but the Iranians are responding, and they're responding in a way that took everybody off guard, because I think most people thought that Iran would respond directly to Israel, and then there would be a sort of an escalation ladder taking place as they started to strike one American base, then another, in an effort to get the United States and Israel to the negotiating table. But Iran literally just went out and hit everything. And even the Trump administration, we didn't expect this to happen. They've hit us in a way that nobody's ever hit us before, and they're sustaining that. Yes, we are blowing things up, but if we don't understand that for the last 20 years, Iran has been preparing for this very scenario, that Iran understands better than we do what we do, they will take losses, but they will continue to launch, as we're seeing now. And they have prepared stockpiles that are successfully hidden, sequestered, spread out, that they'll be able to draw upon for months. We, on the other hand, will run out of ammunition in weeks. And again, we look at regime change, just to look at coming at it from a targeting perspective. Again, for the ignorant masses in your chat and everybody else's chat, I used to do this for a living, so shut up and listen. When we prepare a strategic air campaign of this nature, we have objectives that we want to reach. We say that by this period of time we should achieve this results, then we move to this, from that, and it's sort of a campaign of sequential events that build up on one another until you get to the culminating moment, which is the collapse of the enemy that you were targeting. We have a finite amount of resources, so we take these resources and we allocate them accordingly. We put them on, for instance, the first phase, the first goal objective. To achieve that, and then we take these resources and reapply them, part of a planned process to achieve the next and the next and the next and the next. But what happens, and it happened in the Gulf War, where, for instance, we had resources, 2 F-15E Strike Eagle squadrons that were applied to one of the primary Phase 1 objectives of suppressing Iraqi ballistic missile launch capability in western Iraq. And we send them out to strike fixed-arm launchers and hit up mobile launch sites. And according to the plan, we were supposed to have achieved all this on the second day. First day of primary strikes, second day of restrikes, and then we have wipe that target deck off, and we move these squadrons over to their next mission assignments, which await them outside of Basra and outside of Baghdad. But we didn't destroy anything. The missiles kept launching. So we had to keep these F-15E squadrons on target and reinforce them, diverting resources away from the other target decks to go down this route, and it degraded the strategic air campaign. But at that time, we had sufficient resources. We had a lot of airplanes, a lot of bombs. So we just lengthened the strategic air campaign, and we rode out this problem set. Here we have a strategic campaign that is crippled from the start by insufficient resources. The admiral that was fired said, we don't have enough airplanes and we don't have enough bombs, so we can't do what you want us to do. But the others came in and said, no, we've planned this very carefully. We are going to kill a bunch of people. The first 6 bombs are going to kill Khamenei and 40 people, and that will cascade the collapse of the regime, and then we move to suppression of the security forces, and then we achieve regime change, and we win. And Trump can do his stupid little Trump YMCA moronic dance. So they fired a whole bunch of missiles to achieve regime change. If you heard what we just said, I hope the audience is listening. The regime has not collapsed. It has fallen on the Constitution, and the president of Iran sits at the head of a three-person succession committee until they elect a new supreme leader. There is the Assembly of Experts, which, by the way, is democratically elected. I want to remind all you haters out there that Iran is probably the most successfully functioning democracy in the Middle East. And they elect the Assembly of Experts, who then, through the will of the people, monitor the supreme leader and will select the new supreme leader. And the regime continues. It's there. It's viable. It is functioning. We failed in regime change. So all of those resources that we used up on day one are gone. And now we have to reallocate resources to continue hunting down the regime. And so we have already put ourselves behind the eight ball, and we're chasing something that we'll never catch up to because we don't have time. We don't have time because we don't have the resources. We don't have the ammunition. We're burning through our ammunition at rates that we'll never be able to replenish. And it's not just what we're doing against Iran, what Iran is doing against us. By continuing to fly these attacks, they are sucking up resources. Over 1,000 Iranian missiles were launched on day one. The average expenditure rate for the air defense is 3 to 4 missiles per missile. That means that we have burned through 3 to 4,000 interceptor missiles. And the missiles are still flying. The Iranians have planned a campaign that will last months. We have the ability to sustain this for maybe another week, and then we run out of missiles. We got nothing left. Nothing. And just again, for all you genius geopolitical analysts out there, when I say nothing, that means we have nothing in the Pacific. What would happen if China decided they wanted to take Taiwan right about now? We got nothing. All our cruise missiles are being chewed up. All our interceptor missiles.
This season, you've got places to go, people to see, and things to do. You may have already gotten vaccinated.
About now. We got nothing. All our cruise missiles are being chewed up. All our interceptor missiles are gone. What would happen? I mean, Russia's not going to do it, but if Russia wanted to make a move on Europe, we got nothing. Nothing.
See, I'm going to stop it right there. So you see, hey, they're talking about 4 to 6 weeks, and you burning through your supplies, man. Oh, shit. Hey, y'all finished, man. Hey, now you see, man, hey, they're talking about sending additional troops. All right, they're going to have to. Because, hey, real quick, see, it ain't going as smooth as you thought. Or it's not going according to your plan or how smooth you thought it was going to go. You done hit a rough patch. You done met your match. All right? And that's Iran. And we told y'all, man, shoot, Iran got that heat, you know? Shoot, and I believe China just gave Iran some nuclear power a couple days ago. So, shit. And that's just Iran. What do you think will happen when the big dogs get in? Russia, China, North Korea. Man, then NATO gonna turn on America. Man, shit, America ain't got no chance, man. Get out of here, man. What I was gonna get? Oh, yeah. So it makes sense right here. 2 Esdras 15 says, you shall be troubled bled. 2 Esdras chapter 15 and verse, let's start at 31. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, right, the Islamic nations. Because eventually they're going to get involved. It says, remember their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, right, persecute the Assyrians. As a matter of fact, let's start up. Let's just get verse 28. It says, behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, whereof the dragons, the nations of the dragons of Arabia, the Islamic nations, shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmenians, that's Iran, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the woods, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. excuse me, that's the U.S. troops, these locations where these U.S. bases are. All right. It says that's what it's talking about. It says, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together, and great power to persecute them being the Syrians meaning Americans, America, U.S. over there, that they won with. Then these shall be troubled, bled, and kept silent, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. So you see, America ain't gonna have no choice but to fall back. Hey, they ain't gonna have no choice but to send ground troops. All right. Good luck with that. So you see, hey, this draft coming now. This video ain't about the draft, but we got to throw all this stuff in there. So you see, America, shit, you running out of heat. With your defense system, man. Hey, so man, shit, Iran, hey, they stockpiled them missiles, man. They ready. So you done went over there and got caught up in something, man. You see? Then these shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. So y'all gonna have to fall back some way, shape, form, or fashion. But it ain't gonna end the war. You got to fall back, retreat, get your plans together, do something. We're gonna wait to see how it play out, but hey, that's it right there. All right, and from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and then their host, the armies, shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. You see, so hey, your army officials, Trump and heads of all these, y'all gonna be terrified, man. Hey, like we read in Jeremiah 50 and 51. All right. So hey, I just wanted to hit this real quick through the spirit and power. How about Shema Shot, man? So hey, it's going down. There's some kick going down. And why it's going down, you already know what's going on over here. It's gonna get worse and worse. Matter of fact, they're already saying, which man they anyway, they ain't got to do hell. That's what we for. The Wadi How about Shema Shot. Because they keep saying, hey, gas prices are about to be affected, but it's deeper than gas prices though. Everything gonna be affected. We spoke on it. We ain't gonna speak on it. I just want to read this headline. Hey, y'all think y'all gonna have your little spring travels and shit? Passover coming up soon, but which is the beginning of the year. But yeah, you think you can have nice old spring vacation plans? You already broke. I'm broke too, but think you have your little spring break plans, and we're gonna vacation, we're gonna do this and do that, get some drinks, hang out. Hell no. Finish. Gas prices are set to rise. Here's what you could pay at the pump. Shit, damn near $6-7 a gallon. If it jump up to 150 a barrel.
Have on oil and gas prices here at home. I want to go back to Drika, as promised. Thank you very much for sticking around. What's going to happen to oil and gas prices?
Yeah, so we've been looking into this, and essentially, you know that the oil is traded on a global market. Because oil trades on that market, any disruption to the supply can spike oil prices worldwide. Now, the bigger concern may be access to the Strait of Hormuz, a key area used to carry roughly 20% of the world's oil. How these oil markets react will depend on how long this conflict lasts. Bottom line, Tony, if crude oil jumps significantly, drivers in the U.S. could see prices go up within a matter of days.
We'll be monitoring it closely, Drika. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You see, they said if it continues to go on, Trump said, hey, it could take 4 to 6 weeks. So y'all be the judge, So this shit gonna shoot through the roof. And they're already saying gas prices, let's see. Hell no. They already said gas prices could go up to about $150 a barrel. Let's see something real quick. If oil prices, if oil barrel prices increase, let me see. $150. How much would gas cost if oil is $150? It says, let me see. It says, would, this 3 years ago, would $150 per barrel of oil possibly mean $7, $8 a gallon? Let's see. I don't know. I ain't just giving a straight down answer. Let me see. How much will gas cost if? Just give me a straight answer, man. It ain't gonna be no damn $3 a gallon. It's gonna be higher than that. It says Brent moved up. Let me pause it, man. Alright, this is a gas barrel crude oil price data. I typed in price per barrel of Brent crude oil. $150. It says implied average US gasoline price. Average US price per gallon, $4.59. And that would be for regular. So you add the taxes to it. However they decide to do that. So you're talking, $5, $6, $7, depending on where you are a gallon. Between $5 to $8 a gallon, depending upon where you are. West Coast would be higher. If your vehicle take premium, you already know. A whole nother $2 jump. You take diesel, another $3, $4 jump. So you already know, man. I just wanted to hit this real quick through the spinning power. Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay prayed up in the names of Yahweh Shema Shah. Shalom.